Okay. Let the games begin. If you have questions, give me your questions. One moment, let me see if I can. Put some light back there. That's probably too much, but whatever. Can I share about how to learn new vocabulary? Sure. This is an article that I wrote about how to learn vocabulary. I'm going to share it on the screen. This is from my blog. Right, there I am. Okay, and there it is, the importance of having a vocabulary learning system, building your web. Okay, this is where I have my best articles. All right, and this article will tell you why your system doesn't work, why the way you learn vocabulary doesn't work. It will tell you why, and it will tell you better ways. Okay, so you should go read the article if you can. If it's a little bit too hard for you, you can copy it and paste it into ChatGPT or DeepSeek and ask ChatGPT or ask DeepSeek to help you understand the article. Okay? So once again, go to that link and read about that. I write the articles so that you can go read them. You know, those are my best answers. But many people don't read them. I promise if you read that article, you'll feel better about vocabulary. If you read that article, you'll understand more. All right, hello, Flavia. If you go meet someone at 1 a.m., going to a party, for example, should I say good evening or good night? Good night is always bye. If I say, hey, good night, that means I'm leaving. Bye. Okay? Good evening could be a hello or a goodbye. If you say, have a good evening, that's a goodbye. If you just say, hey, good evening, that's fine to say anytime when it's dark outside, essentially. Okay? But it's a weird thing. Excuse me. My allergies are really bad today. I'm trying to think, how would I say... You're just trying to say hello to them, right? If you're just trying to say hello to them, Flavia, I don't think I would use good evening or good night if it's 1 a.m. I'll probably just say, hey, what's up? What's up? What's happening? What are you up to? How are you? How have you been? Hey there. You don't need to put any time on it when you say hello to someone. You can just find other ways to greet them that don't involve an evening. Because it's actually morning. If you're talking about 1 a.m., that's morning. So technically, you should say good morning. But that's also weird because it's not morning until you go to sleep and wake up or the sun comes up and whatever, right? So in that case, if it's 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., I just say hello without any good evening, good morning, good afternoon, anything like that. Okay? In the United States, is it considered a sign of respect to address someone by their last name? Nina wants to know. If you mean Mr. Smith, Mrs. Jones, yes, that's considered respectful. That's pretty normal when you meet new people. It depends on the age and it depends on the situation and the formality. If it's a very informal situation, then probably you don't need to say Mr. or Mrs. But if you do, they might appreciate it, right? So, for example, if I meet... Let me think. I don't know. If I meet my friend's parents... If I meet my friend's parents, when I meet my friend's parents, I'll probably address them as Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, whatever their last name is. But I wouldn't be surprised, I won't be surprised if that person, if maybe the father or mother say, oh, you can just call me Bill, or you can just call me Sally. Whatever. So usually we'll offer that as a sign of respect. We'll say Mr. or Mrs., but then very often that person will then say, well, you can just call me my name. All right? I think that's what you're asking about, Nina. Hello, Inessa. Hello, all the new people. Adam, I start sometime in the morning, New York City time. Okay, Adam? Some days it's 9 a.m., some days it's 10 a.m., some days it's 10:30 or even 11. All right? I usually have students in the morning. Okay, I usually have students in the morning and I'm busy and I come online as soon as I can. I used to teach vocabulary. Nowadays, I don't teach vocabulary. No, it's not that I don't. I just haven't. Yeah, I haven't done one in a while. Hina. Maybe I will. Sometimes, Hina, I'm busy and I don't have time to prepare something. So if I don't have time to prepare, then I just come and I say, ask Teacher Mark, bring me your questions. Okay? And I don't know why it's foggy, everybody. Am I foggy? Is it foggy? Because it looks perfectly clear to me. Is it clear or is it foggy? It's foggy? Well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Hold on. Is that better? Is it better, really? Oh, wow, it is actually better. Funny. All right, well, there you go. How about that? Imagine that, cleaning the camera. It can help sometimes. All right, so what was I saying? Yeah, sometimes I just don't have time to prepare anything. And if I don't have time to prepare, then I just come here and I want you to have questions. That's the biggest thing I try to tell anymore. One of the most important things is if you are learning something, you should always have questions. If you don't have questions, then you're not really trying. Every good student has questions. Okay, all right. People are talking about vocabulary, so let's talk about vocabulary, all right? I'm going to explain my article. I won't read it, but I'll explain it, all right? How's that? So lots of people ask me, how can I learn vocabulary better? Because I always forget the words, right? And the one thing I tell you is that if you want to learn vocabulary, you need a system. You need a system. You need a plan. You need a method. But most people don't have one. Most of you, when you want to learn vocabulary, you memorize. That's the only thing you do. Do you even know any other ways to learn vocabulary? Did anyone ever teach you any other ways to learn vocabulary? Because memorizing is the worst way to learn. Okay? And why is memorizing the worst way to learn? Because memorizing is very shallow learning. It's very shallow learning. Okay? And it's easy to forget. There's a rule. We have a rule in learning. The faster you learn, the faster you forget. The slower you learn, the slower you forget. So most of you have been learning methods that are fast methods, so you forget them. So you need new methods. You need new methods that are slower. Okay? The fixed time is, there is no fixed time. It is morning, sometime in the morning in America. 9 a.m., 9:30, 10 a.m., 10:30, somewhere in there. Okay? Some mornings I finish teaching at 9 and I can start right away. Some mornings I don't finish teaching until 10:30 and then I need more time. Okay? Learning vocabulary with a dictionary is a bad idea because dictionaries are not useful. They don't tell you how useful the words are, and they don't tell you where to use them. They're not in any order to learn them well. Alphabetically is not a good way to learn them, it's a good way to find them. Okay, so a dictionary is in alphabetical order so that you can find the words. But the alphabet doesn't help you know how to use those words. Okay, so dictionaries are not a good way. All right? Okay, let me continue with my article here. Oh, the word you're trying to say, Mia, is indecisiveness. Indecisiveness. Hello, Chris. How are you, my friend? Indecisiveness. Is the word elated used for American English? Yeah. It's more of a slightly formal word, but yeah, it means happy. I'm elated. Okay. Good for you, Diego. How did you do? I hope you did well. Indecisiveness, what does it mean? Uh, it means 你常常不确定. Okay? You often don't know what you want. Okay? 你常常不确定你要什么. Yeah. That's what it is. Indecisive. Decisive means to decide. Hesitate. Hesitate is a verb. It means that you wait for a moment, for some reason. You wait. You hesitate. Okay? Sometimes it's because of you're unsure or you are afraid. But sometimes you just hesitate because of some other reason. You want to hesitate. Okay? Being indecisive just means I don't know what I want. Today I want this, tomorrow I want something else. You know? So you're trying to decide which house to buy, and, you know, one day you say, oh, I like this one. Oh, no, not that one. The next day you like this one. This one's the one. And then the next day, no, we need to go, that's the other one. That's indecisive. Okay? To decide things clearly is to be decisive. To never know what you want is to be indecisive. Okay? But there is another word, Mia, not hesitate, but hesitant. T-A-N-T at the end of the word. To be hesitant is a word that means to be unsure. You're waiting because you're unsure of something. So hesitate is a verb that means to wait for some reason. To be hesitant is an adjective that means you feel unsure about something, and so therefore you feel you don't know what to do, or you aren't sure you should do something. You're waiting to see, right? You're hesitant. I'm hesitant to make a decision. Okay? What does awkward mean? Awkward means in a strange way. It means weird, strange. If someone says that was super awkward, it means that was very weird. Okay? Hello over there, Barry. Sticky notes tricks too. Sure, yeah, sticky notes are good. People don't use those anymore, though, do they? I do, but I don't think other people do. Wow, I can't believe how... I'm so sorry that my camera was so blurry. I had no idea it was just dirty. I feel a little stupid now, because the whole time I thought for sure, it looks fine to me. I didn't really notice that much difference. I thought it was the lighting, actually. I thought it was just the lights that were making it overexposed or something. Anyway, Okay, do I think that phrasal verbs and idioms can impact our fluency better? Yes, I think they can. Of course, they can. But phrasal verbs and idioms are difficult because they don't have a rule. There are no rules for learning them. You have to learn them in groups so that you can remember them. Phrasal verbs you should learn in groups. Get in, get on, get through, get over, get with, get into, whatever, okay? All the get words, okay? Then do all the take words. Take in, take off, take over, take through, take with, right? Trying to learn them in groups. Idioms, almost every idiom has a story behind it. There was a story about why they made that idiom. And if you learn the story, it's probably interesting and you will remember. But if you just try to memorize them, please remember, please brain, remember these words. That's what you're doing when you try to memorize. You're just telling your brain, please remember. Okay, don't do that. All right, I wanted to read the rest of my article, but now people are asking me all these questions. But that's fine. But you should go read my article about vocabulary. If you want to know about vocabulary, that's one of the best articles I've ever written, I think. So you should read it. You think it's only effective based on those learners' capability. Govind, I think that phrasal verbs are something you should learn mostly when you're an advanced learner. You can start learning them when you're in the intermediate area and then continue learning them as you get to be advanced. Idioms, I think you can start learning idioms even as a beginner. You can teach basic idioms. There are some idioms that everyone knows because they are the same in every culture, right? There are actually some idioms that are almost the same in every single culture in the world. So if I tell you this one in English, you'll say, oh, we have the same thing in Arabic. Or it's almost the same, right? Like we'll talk about, it'll be an idiom about dogs in English, and it'll be an idiom about, I don't know, frogs in Chinese. I don't know, whatever. Sometimes the subject changes just a little bit, but the idea is exactly the same. Okay? All right, next question. What about embarrassment? What about embarrassment? Oh, you mean the difference between embarrassment and being awkward. So being embarrassed has elements of awkwardness. Okay? When you are embarrassed, you feel awkward. You feel people are looking at you, and now you feel like you're the weird one. So that means I feel awkward. That's the way we say that word. Awkward, which means like weird. This is not good. All right? That's what we say. So feeling embarrassed is when you feel everyone is judging you in some way, right? Awkwardness. Well, let me tell you this. Let me open this and find the etymology, if I remember right. Let's see. So what does awkward really mean? The word ward, W-A-R-D. Wait a minute. Yeah. So, word means the direction, right? So forward and backward, right? We have the W-A-R-D in forward and backward. That means what direction. So forward means front. Backward, back means behind, back, right? So awkward, awk, A-W-K. The original meaning of awkward means in the wrong direction. In the wrong direction. So what that means is everybody else is facing forward, but you are facing backward. So that means you are awkward because you are facing in the wrong direction. So the original meaning means that you're not like everybody else. You're not like everybody else. You're doing something the wrong way. You're doing something the wrong way. That means you're weird. Okay, that's what awkwardness is. Okay? Odd, weird, redundant, awkward. What's the difference? Misha, sometimes nothing. That's the beauty of English. We love to say, I'm a little bit odd, I'm a little bit weird. Those are pretty much the same. Redundant is different. Redundant means something that has the same meaning, and so you don't need to say it. So if I say the gigantic, huge, big table, those words are redundant. I don't need to say gigantic, big, huge. They all mean the same thing. So two of them are redundant. All right? But awkward, again, the original meaning means everybody is facing forward and you are facing backward, which means that you are facing in the wrong direction, which makes it awkward. Not forward, not backward, but awkward. Okay? Thank you, Emmy. Hello, Emmy. Thank you, Zachariah. Thank you, Tyler. HGX, don't do that. HGX, I'm going to have to remove you. Sorry. We don't do that here. All right, hello, Super B. Who can lend me $50? Who can lend me $50? If there's $50 to give, you're going to give it to me. I'm the teacher. Pay me. Tyler says, what's the difference between beguiling, enchanting, glamour, and charming? Yeah, so Tyler, all of those words are related to magic. Okay? Charming comes from the word charm. Charm means to have a quality that's like magic that makes people like you. A magical quality that makes people like you is charm. So when you say he's very charming, it means his personality makes you feel almost like he made a magical spell and now you like him, right? That's to be charming. Beguiling is similar in a way. The word guile means to trick someone or to have a desire to trick someone, right? So if I say he's filled with guile, that means he wants to trick people. He lies to people. He tells people things to trick them. That's to have guile, okay? So to be beguiling means to have a quality that means you are able to trick people. You're able to trick people somehow. So if I say he's a very beguiling character, that means somehow you think that he is well, let me one moment. Let me check something. You think that he is deceptive. You think that he wants to trick you somehow, right? You don't trust them, right? And why don't you trust them? because they have guile, and guile is, again, almost like a magical quality, an ability to trick you. Okay? Enchanting comes from the word chant, enchant, and then chant. Chant is a word that means to repeat words over and over again. Sometimes when you sing, or sometimes just saying them, right? So if you repeat words again and again, that's a chant. Okay, so sometimes when you go to a sports event, like a soccer game, a football game, a baseball game, maybe the people will chant something, right? They'll say, I don't know, what do they say? I don't know. I don't go to games, so I don't know. But they chant. They say something together, right? Everybody tries to say something together, right? That's a chant. But the word chant, again, actually is related to the word to enchant, which means to use magic on you. So, again, beguiling, charming, and enchanting all are related to magic, and so is glamour. The word glamour means to be magically beautiful. It means you're so beautiful, it's like someone cast a spell on you, that you're more beautiful than everyone else, so now you are glamorous. Okay? So, they all are very similar. Beguiling, sometimes beguiling has a positive meaning in a way. Like beautiful, right? But beautiful can be dangerous, right? Men are dumb. When women are beautiful, we do anything for them. That's the enchantment, that's the magic, that's the beauty, that's the glamour, that's the enchantment, that's the beguiling nature, that's the charm. Okay? That's how it affects people. Love does that to us too. That's for girls too, you know? Why do we do stupid things when we're in love? Because we're charmed. We're enchanted by them. You got an IELTS 7 because of me. Well, thank you for that. I hope that's true. I don't know what I did to help you. How did I help you get an IELTS 7? Which of my ideas helped you? Okay, please be patient. There are many comments. Hello, Bellin. Hello, Lena. Russia, I will tell you about the article maybe in a minute. Let me try to catch up with these comments here. What are the different meanings of distinguish? To distinguish, sometimes, again, it helps to look at the original meaning. Distinguishing means to tell something apart, right? To be able to look at things and say, well, this one is this and this one is that. That's to be able to distinguish, right? But the original meaning, distinguish, comes from the Latin word distinguere. Oh, I can't even pronounce it. Distinguere. I feel like I'm trying to pronounce acetaminophen. Distinguere, to separate between, to keep separate, to mark off, to distinguish. So the original meaning, dis means apart. Dis means apart, and stinguere means to choose. So distinguish means, oh, this one goes here, and this one goes here, and this one goes here. You can distinguish where they go. You can tell which ones go to which place. That's to distinguish. Okay? Now, if I could use it as an adjective, distinguished. He's very distinguished. Now that means he's very formally respected. He's a distinguished man, means he's a very formally respected man. Okay? I'm trying to think if there are any other meanings of distinguish. I can't distinguish just means I can't understand the difference between. Okay? Okay, next question. Hello, Jesus. Hello to everybody. Tell us more about my teaching experience, my educational background. Maria, okay, quickly I will try to do that. I'll give you my CV, okay? I just turned 50 last week, and I started teaching when I was 18 years old. I started teaching music when I was 18. Okay, so, but I began my journey as a teacher at the age of 18. I used to teach at a music store, and so I had between 50 and 75 students a week, 50, 75, somewhere in there, every week for many years. I taught at several high schools doing that as well. I also was a professional musician during that time, so I started working in clubs playing music, rock, blues, jazz, funk, pop, Latin, any music really. But after many years of playing music in bars and teaching drums, I got a little bit tired of it. I got a little bit burned out. I felt I needed something new. And a friend of mine invited me to come hang out with him in Taiwan, where he was teaching English. He said, you can come here, you can sleep on my couch, I'll help you get a job at the kindergarten, and you can try something different. And I did. That was 2009. And I have been teaching English since 2009. And I got my teaching certificate, and I have now taught at many kindergartens, and I've taught junior high. I've taught kindergarten, elementary, junior high, high school, college, adults. And now I've been on Hello Talk for over 12 years. I have been live streaming here for 5 years. I have done more than 1,200 live streams for 2,000 hours, more than 2,000 hours of teaching. I have about 83,000 followers around the world who I guess they think my ideas are pretty good. That's why they follow. And I'm one of the most recommended teachers on Hello Talk. Okay? Okay, what's next? All right, please be patient. Please be patient. Let's see. Over 1 million people have watched my live streams. 83,000 people follow me, but more than 1 million people have watched me. Okay, let's see. What's the difference between dreading and monologue when we're talking about physiology response? I'm not sure if I understand your question, Ryan. Monologue is something that a person says. It's a statement one person says. Mono means one. Log comes from the word logos, which means words or so monologue basically means the words of one person. Okay? So, monologues are like in a play or in a TV show maybe, or a movie. Maybe there's one part where one character is talking by himself. That's a monologue, okay? Or sometimes like a TV talk show host, when they start the show and they're talking to the audience by themselves, that's a monologue, okay? Now, to dread, the word dread is a word, it's a feeling, It's a feeling like fear. To dread something means that you really don't want to do something. You're not looking forward to it. You don't like it. You're afraid of it. Something is not good and you don't want to do it. That's to dread doing something. To feel dread is to feel a sense of something bad is going to happen. So I don't want to do it. Okay? And as far as the physiological responses, when you feel dread, you feel nervous, you get worried, you sweat, you get paranoid, you start looking around, you think everybody is looking at you. Okay? But you just have to breathe. Breathe. How to pronounce the digit 3. 3. 3. Yes, beguiling means attractive and charming, but in a way that you can be tricked. That's right. Yeah. Occasionally the word beguiling is used positively. She's very beguiling. That doesn't mean you think she's bad. That means you think she's so beautiful that she's like magically beautiful. But it can be used to say she's very beguiling, like she uses her beauty to get what she wants. And it's not just for girls, it could be a guy also. All right? It's just to use your looks and your charm to get what you want is to be beguiling. Okay? Effrontery, indeed. And hello, Liz. Okay, let me check the comments here. Okay, we're good. How are you, Liz? What's the difference between rely on and depend on? Rely is R-E-L-Y, not R-O-L-Y. Sometimes I think those are exactly the same. Let me check something. Rely versus depend. So they're often interchangeable, which is what I said, but rely on, it carries more of an idea of trust, okay? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with this answer. I honestly think that really a necessity for support and is often used for things that are conditional for basic survival needs. So their answer says that there is a slight difference, but when I read their answer, I don't agree. So for example, they said that rely on is more, it's deeper, it's more profound, and it implies a deeper sense of trust or confidence. But no, I don't think that's true. If I say I can depend on him, that means the exact same thing. If I say he's someone I can depend on, he's someone I can rely on, that's the same. There is no difference there. All right? It's if there's any difference at all, it's an extremely small difference. Okay? Like, this is the same and this is the difference. Okay? It's not much. Okay? Okay, next. Let's see. Hello, Carlos. Hello to everyone. And thank you for the gifts. Yeah, in a letter like distinguished sir. Yeah, but when you say that, you're saying, again, you're saying respected person. Distinguished meaning respected. Yeah. Right. She gave a speech to a room full of distinguished leaders. That means respected leaders. Yeah. How to speak fluently in English. Glody, there is no answer for that question. If there were an answer for that question, nobody would be here. Everybody would be fluent if you could answer that question. Glody, come here, watch, listen, take notes, and study. That's how you can be fluent in English. Okay? Huh? What is this? How do people diss ugly women? Nobody dissed ugly women. Who said anything about... We were talking about the words beguiling, enchanting, which those words are often about beauty that seems magical. Nobody said anything bad about anyone else. Nobody said any... I didn't ever say the word ugly. I never said the word ugly. You're here since I've had like 40,000 followers? Yeah. You've been here for 4 years? Wow, well thank you, Jakir. Will I play music today, Hossein? Probably not. I'm really tired. So after I'm done streaming, I think I'm gonna rest today. I think I slept only a couple of hours last night, so I'm pretty tired. How to think in English as a French speaker. Glody, next time that you want to think something in French, think it in English. Okay, so I only know a little French. The next time you think bon appetit, you can think eat well. The next time you think s'il vous plaît, you can think please, right? The next time you think c'est la vie, you can think such is life. Try to change some of your French thoughts into English thoughts. All of the easy ones. Start with all the easy ones. So tomorrow, Glody, tomorrow, every easy thought that you can have in English, I want you to have in English. Okay, not in French. Mo, it is 11:07 a.m. here. It's 12 hours different from Beijing. Okay? Okay, so I have now answered all of the comments and questions there. I don't know if you guys still want to hear about vocabulary, but let me tell you one part about vocabulary. Learning vocabulary is like a spider web. Do you guys know what a spider web is? What is a spider web? Somebody showed there's an emoji. Isn't there an emoji for spider web or something? I can't do emojis on here, I don't think, on my keyboard. Or if I can, I don't know how. So there it is. Thank you, Norman. There it is. Thank you very much, Norman. That's a spider web. Now, when a spider makes a web, did you notice that they don't make just one string? They don't make one line. They make many, many, many lines. Why do they make so many connections? Why do they make so many connections? Why do they do that? Why do spiders make so many connections on their web? It seems like a lot of work. I think it would be easier if they just made one line. Right? Now I'm done. I made one line. I'm done. Now I'm finished with my web. Why don't they do that? Anyone? Why doesn't a spider just make one line? They make many because it's flexible and it has power, and to strengthen the entire web, to make it stronger so that it works. It works, right? If they only have one string, one strand, it's called one strand of web. If you only have one strand, you're not going to catch anything. anything you catch is going to fly away. So guess what, guys? Why are we talking about spider webs? This is weird. Why is this guy talking about spider webs? Because memorizing is like a spider web. You are making one strand. That's memorizing. Memorizing is only making one connection. And then the word is the fly. The word is the insect that you want to eat. And the insect comes and it gets into your web, but you only have one strand, so the word flies away. Memorizing doesn't have any connections, so it's not a strong web, so you forget. Do you understand? So what do I mean by connections? What are connections? How can you make more connections with words? You can make more connections with words by learning more about the words. So, if you're learning the word microphone, what does microphone mean? What does it mean? Okay, it's this thing here. This is a microphone. But what does micro mean? Micro means small, and phone means sound. So microphones are used to make the small sound big. Okay? And where does this go? It goes to an amplifier. And an amplifier is it's a thing that's used to amplify the sound. That means to make it louder. So, when you learn about where the words come from, when you learn the meaning of the word, when you learn how they're used, when you see them in sentences and you see examples of them, when you find out how to use the word in a story, right? You see it used in a story. That's a connection, right? All of these are connections. So when I learn a word, I try to find as many connections as I can so that I can deeply remember the word. Okay? Now, some of you are going to say, "That's too much work, Teacher Mark. I don't want to do so much work." I want to explain something to you. Memorizing is more work because when you memorize, you forget. And then you memorize again, and then you forget again, and then you memorize again, and then you forget again. So, my way, you have to do a lot of work one time. Memorizing, you have to do a little work many, 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 many times. Okay? That's the basic idea about vocabulary. Memorizing is pretending to learn. It's not really learning. It's just pretending to learn. You're just trying to remember it long enough to take the test. Okay, so the faster you learn, the faster you forget. The slower you learn, the slower you forget. Okay? And you have a web inside your brain. And if your web is a weak web, then the words will go in this ear and come out that ear. But if you have a strong web in your mind, the words will go in and they will stay there. Okay? What do I think about etymology? Mohana, I teach etymology. I'm famous for etymology on Hello Talk. How many people here have heard me talk about etymology before? I've been studying etymology since I was 15. I love etymology. It's one of my hobbies. It's one of my hobbies. So yeah, where the words come from, it really helps you, right? So, for example, do you guys know the word sabotage? Sabotage. Do you guys know that word? What does sabotage mean? It means to destroy. That's right. To destroy something, like you want to destroy it because you don't like it. You want to do something to make it not work, not function, so you want to destroy it somehow, right? Where does that word come from? The word sabotage originally comes from the word, let me see here, sabot. The word sabot, which in French was a wooden shoe. A kind of shoe, a wooden shoe. It's a shoe made of wood, okay? And in what year? Let's see. One moment, let me find the year. Yeah, here it is. So the workers who made the shoes, the workers who made the wooden shoes, they were not happy. They were not happy. So they went on strike. They went on strike and said, we don't want to work anymore. And to break the machines, they took the wooden shoes and put the wooden shoes in the machines, and it broke the machines. So the word sabot, S-A-B-O-T, is a wooden shoe. And they put the wooden shoe in the machine, and it broke the machine. And now we have the word sabotage. That's etymology. Disaster. Disaster is another one that I love to talk about. The word disaster, what does disaster mean? What is a disaster? Disaster is a bad thing, right? We usually talk about natural disasters like earthquakes and typhoons and hurricanes and floods. Those are natural disasters, right? That's right, Tomas. Disaster is two words, D-I-S, which means what? What does dis mean, everybody? Dis. What does dis mean? Yeah, dis basically means something bad. It means negative, so it's something bad. All right? And what does A-S-T-E-R mean? A-S-T-E-R. It means star, that's right. Yeah, so astronaut, asteroid, astronomy, astrology, all of those A-S-T-R words, those are all about stars and space. So the word disaster, dis means bad and aster means star. Why does it mean bad star? Because 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, if there was a flood, if there was an earthquake, if there was a typhoon, they believed it was caused by the gods. And the gods are up there. The gods are up there in the stars. So disaster means bad star. That's cool. When you learn that, that's cool. And now you will remember that word. Okay, so etymology is very useful. And who was it? Was it Norman? Was it you? Yeah, you said you used etym online before, but you couldn't understand anything. It is a little difficult to understand. Etymology is not for beginners. Etymology is definitely more advanced. So it's more for intermediate advanced learners. Okay? But Norman, it takes a little practice to learn how to read the passages in Edym Online. You have to look at it and say, okay, well, first it was French, and then it was Latin before that, and before that it was Greek, right? And then you have to look to see how each one of those, did the spelling change, did the meaning change, was there anything interesting that happened in the changes or the original meaning, you know? So it does take a little bit of interpretation. Okay, Bella, how to understand conversation and communication. Bella, if you can understand me now, then you can understand, but you're listening to the wrong people. And you need more practice. 熟能生巧，每天你需要听英文。可是，你需要听，只有听人，那个人，如果那个人有好特别的、好听的，声，那个声就是声吗 ？Voice。我忘记那个 voice，声音 ，yeah， 声音 ，OK。如果他们有好特别的好听的声音，你需要听他们 ，OK。Okay, man, I'm tired. Thank you for that, Zoe, over there in my YouTube channel. Okay, did I miss any other ones? What about déjà vu? That's also French. Yeah, there are many French words. 30%, at least 30% of English words come from French. Cafe, restaurant, ennui, all of those words are from French. Okay? "星期一到星期六，大概9点到10点。No, 不是。Around 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. 9点还是10点早上这里啊，就是晚上，在中国就是晚上的 ，OK， 这里就是早上的 ，OK。So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and sometimes Saturday. Morning, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., something like that, okay? All right? Yeah, I'm not going to be on too late today because, yeah, I'm very tired. I think I only got about 2 hours of sleep. Thank you for that, Norman. I appreciate that. 在美国就是早上的。在中国就是晚上的。My Chinese is not good. Your English is not good. Holly, 我的中文就是自己学的，我可以说，如果我要告诉你我感觉什么，我可以说，你可以说英文的吗？我觉得你不可以，不行。我知道我的中文就是奇怪的，就是因为这是自己学的。可以，你可以吗？Okay, then let's have a contest, Holly. Can you come up here and can you come on stage? Do you want to come on stage and test your English over my Chinese? Holly, I'm waiting. You can raise your hand. I learned Chinese by myself. What's your point, Holly? What's your point? Zhi I learned Chinese by myself. By books, by apps, by videos, by friends, by lessons, by anything I could get. Okay? Now, Holly, 我觉得你胡说八道，所以安静。我是英文老师，所以你是英文学生，你需要听我安静的。这是英文课，你不是英文老师，我是。好不好？This is not a Chinese class, though. This is an English class. It's okay, everybody. I'm not going to be speaking Chinese. I just wanted to show her that I can. Anyway. No, what I said is, Holly, you talk too much. Why 什么你有两个耳朵，可是你只有一个嘴？为什么 Holly 你知道吗？我觉得你需要上一上。对。Okay, next question. Chinese class is over. 如果你爱我，我觉得你有好奇怪的what's a good way to say method way? 好奇怪的方法，好奇怪的方法。哦，表演有啊 ，Yeah, OK， 好奇怪的表演。OK， 晚安，晚安。 Okay. What does paranormal mean? Ayub, paranormal is a word that we use when we're talking about things like ghosts. Okay? Anything that you can't explain with normal things, right? If you can't explain it with science and you can't explain it with normal evidence, then it's paranormal. Okay? Yeah, 我知道，我的中文就是很奇怪，我知道啊，可是我 I don't care. I don't care because you understand. And that's all I care about. Language is not supposed to be perfect. 你们说表现吗？我常常说表演，因为我是音乐家，他们常常说我们有表演，可是我觉得表现都可以，对不对？ Yeah. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just trying to express myself. Okay. There's always somebody who says, your Chinese is bad. I know it's bad. That's what I tell people. I tell people I speak really bad Chinese really well. You watched for the movie 2046? No, I don't know that one. No idea. Okay, so what's the difference between Biaoyan and Biaoxian? What's the difference? Yeah, so my dictionary says Biaoyan and Biaoxian, both. It has both of them listed. Oh, I see. Biaoxian is for behavior, and Biaoyan is for an act, like a performance. I think that's correct. Ah, now I understand. Okay. Ah, I got it. Now I got it. Thank you. Now I understand. Thank you. See, that helps me. See, I'm still learning. Yeah. Anyway. No, listen. That I don't know if she's still here. I think she left. But listen. Why did I get upset? Why did I yell at her? I'm not really upset because I don't really care what somebody thinks about my Chinese. But, as a teacher, I do care about people being critical for no good reason. So it really is very strange if you say your English is bad. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you at all. So why are you offering your opinion? That is why. This is a teachable moment. The teachable moment is if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. I know I can ignore this kind of person, but I'm a teacher. And as a teacher, I will stop. If you are in my classroom and you're learning and you're trying your best and someone else says, your English is bad, I'm going to say, hey, mind your own business. Focus on you. Their English has nothing to do with you. Yeah, I'm going to stop them and tell them, you shouldn't criticize somebody else's English. That's their journey. That's their journey. They're on a process. It's a mission. It's a travel. It's a journey. It takes time. So that's why I stopped her. Do I seem like I'm upset? I'm not upset. I don't care what she thinks about my Chinese. I think my Chinese is pretty good. 不错. 还好. But I stopped her because I just don't like people that do that. I don't like people that say things like that. Nobody asked you if it's good or not. You know? Yeah. That's right. That's in America, this is what our mothers teach us. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's what we are taught. Okay? If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Yeah. It's okay. It's all right. But here's the thing. Many people who come here, they don't know I'm a teacher. They don't know that this is a classroom. They don't know. And so they think they're just talking to some guy. Well, you're not. I'm not just some guy. I'm Teacher Mark, as you can see. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Oh, man, I'm getting a headache. Okay, let's see. How do native speakers feel when they hear those? For example, she like cat, I go to school yesterday. She's face is funny. Mo, when I hear that, I don't care. I don't care. If you say she like cat, I know what you mean. She likes cats. If you say I go to school yesterday, I know you mean I went to school yesterday. If you say she's face is funny, I know you mean her face is funny. Now, will I correct you? Maybe, but only if I have a relationship with you or you're my student. So, for example, if you're my friend and you ask me, hey, please correct me, correct my English. You asked me to, so I will. But if you didn't ask me to, I probably won't. Especially if I do understand you, then what's the point? Okay, unless you want me to. If you want me to correct you, then you should tell me, and I will. All right? But for me, if I hear you say that kind of thing, it doesn't bother me, and I will understand you. But, Mo, I'm not like everybody. I have a lot of experience with talking with people from all over the world and talking with people with many levels of English. Some people who speak really well and some people who barely speak at all. So I have a lot of experience with this. If you meet somebody who has almost no experience with non-native speakers of English, they might not feel comfortable. They might not understand you. They might think that your English is not good. But you need to remember, sometimes when your language is bad, the other person doesn't understand, and that makes them feel uncomfortable. And because they feel uncomfortable, you made them feel uncomfortable, and now some people, they will feel bad feelings about you because your language made them feel uncomfortable. That's how that works. All right? Chinese grammar is strict. It says we can say big sister. It has to be right. It has to be older sister. Right, Francis. That's right. Chinese is a bit different. Chinese almost always uses the most common word to describe things, and they don't mind using the same word all like again and again. Right. So if I say the word da, big, if I use big many times, nobody really feels it's weird in Chinese, right? But in English, if I say that we ate a really big pizza on a big table in a big room in a big house on a big street with big cars, that sounds weird. So, yeah. Alyssa says you do say big sister. Do you? Well, you do say little sister, 小姐. So do you say 大姐? 有时候你们说大姐吗？我不知道。我知道你们说小姐。Okay, so see? 差不多. It's about the same. Okay, there you go. I have a good vibe. Don't let negative comments break it. Just ignore them. Okay, Mohana, but just remember, again, part of my job is not just teaching English. Part of my job is teaching how to be a good person in a classroom, how to be a good human being. That's part of what a teacher is supposed to do. And when I see somebody being rude, I need to tell them, you're being rude. Okay? It's not a matter of changing the vibe. You know, there was a girl yesterday who came to my live stream who kept telling me to calm down. She kept telling me that I'm yelling and that I'm arguing with everybody. Yeah, right? That was funny. Wasn't it hilarious? You know, yeah, it's very strange, right? But again, you would never tell a teacher that. If you knew they're a teacher, you would never say to a teacher, hey, I don't like the way you teach. You're too loud. Your energy is too much. You would never say that. You would just keep it to yourself and say, I just don't like that teacher. That's just my opinion. But people come here and they don't know. So they just say whatever. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, look, now we started an argument about big sister and little sister in Chinese. We have two words for elder and younger sister. Right. Okay. All right. I know English and I know really, really bad Chinese. As someone said earlier, my Chinese is terrible. So, there you go. That's a giant cup. What is it? It's not soup. No, it's iced coffee. It's mostly ice. In really strong coffee. Your Chinese is terrible too. Yeah, well, Chinese is hard, man. Chinese is hard. If you have even bad Chinese, if anybody learns Chinese, even bad Chinese, I'm impressed. I'm impressed because it's hard. It's hard. So, yeah. Anyway, do I know Indian language? I know Namaste. Can I suggest some cartoons in English for you to watch? I don't know too many. I mean, Peppa Pig is super popular. Uh, SpongeBob SquarePants is pretty popular. But really, any cartoon that you. Almost all the cartoons for children are good because they are designed to be learnable material, right? So adult cartoons are not meant to be learnable material, it's just entertainment. Children's cartoons are usually a combination of entertainment and education. Okay? So what I would say is any children's cartoons that you like, they're probably fine. Okay? But just remember there are some cartoons that are not children's cartoons. Okay, South Park is not a cartoon for children. Family Guy is not a cartoon for children. Okay? Simpsons is a little in the middle. I think Simpsons is not Simpsons is okay for children. It's just maybe a little hard for them to understand. A lot of it will be a little hard for them to understand because it's the language is okay and I think there's nothing in the Simpsons that's really objectionable, right? Something that's going to offend you too much. The Simpsons is not too bad. But South Park and Family Guy, if you're not offended, you're not paying attention. Because that's what they're trying to do. That's part of the comedy. Your parents didn't allow you to watch The Simpsons. That's interesting. Yeah, that one's pretty tame. Compared to many cartoons, The Simpsons is really tame. There's nothing really bad in it that I can think of. It's pretty moralistically good, really. Yeah. Futurama was not that great anyway. That one was, like Simpsons actually, if you watch The Simpsons, there is a lot that you can learn culturally. There are many lessons that can be learned from watching The Simpsons. Cultural lessons about American culture. But Futurama, not so much. Not so much. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, I think I have about 10 more minutes. Yeah, 10 more minutes. I have 10 more minutes here. I'm just looking at something here very quickly. Hold on. Yeah, okay, good. He's gone. All right. What was my favorite song when I was young? It's a song called Hot for Teacher. Hot for Teacher. It was by Van Halen from a record they did called 1984. The opening track. And it's a very important song to me because it was one of the first songs that really made me want to be a drummer. When I heard that song, I was like, oh my God, what is this? What is this? I don't know what this is, but I like it. What's the difference between entertainment, amusement, and recreation? Let me think about how to give a good answer for that. Let me think here. Hold on. What was the other one? Recreation. Oh. My heed. Okay, so amusement, let's see. Amusement comes from the word to be amused, amuse. And amusements are usually kind of what we say fleeting. Fleeting is a word that means they're here and they're gone, right? So they're moments that happen quickly. So amusements are usually something quick, okay? If I say that's amusing, that's usually some kind of a short, quick thing, okay? The only exception to that is when we say amusement park, which is a park full of amusements. It's full of things to amuse yourself. That's what rides are, right? So what is an amusement park? It has a bunch of rides on it. Now, if you ride that same ride again and again and again and again and again, it's not amusing anymore, right? So amusement parks are full of rides that are amusing, meaning they're interesting for a short time. So an amusement park is full of interesting things that are interesting for a short time. Those are amusements. Entertainment is a more general word that means, it's usually a passive word that means anything that can be enjoyed in some way is entertainment. So, like things that you can consume that you enjoy. So, for example, films, shows, TV, comedy, stand-up comedy, music, all of those can be entertainment, right? Acting, dancing, those are all forms of entertainment, okay? So it's a much more general, broad term for anything that entertains, okay? And then recreation is an activity that's done for refreshment or renewal, right? Something that makes you feel fresh again is recreation, okay? So when you go camping, that's a recreational activity. So in America, we have those big vehicles that are called RVs. An RV means recreational vehicle because you're going to take it camping and now you're going to feel fresh again after you go camping. That's recreation. Okay? All right. I know that was a long answer. Okay. You have a question. What's your next question? Do I listen to rock bands? Yes, I listen to them, and I'm in one. Do you see those two posters? You see this guy right here? That's me. Do you see this poster here? That's another band. And do you see this guy in the white shirt there? That's me. I'm a drummer. I have played in many rock bands. What about Young Sheldon? Young Sheldon is pretty good. Pretty good TV show for learning English. Okay. Bijan is saying what? You can use stingy instead of cheap. Is that true? Cheap can have two meanings. Cheap sometimes means inexpensive. This thing is cheap. It's inexpensive. cheap can also be a description of a person who doesn't like to spend money. If you are a person who doesn't like to spend money, then we say you're cheap. You're a little cheap. Means you always complain about, I don't want to go out for lunch, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to pay money for this, and I don't want. That's cheap. But you can also say you're stingy. If you don't like to pay for things and you're always trying to pay less than everybody else, then that's stingy. Okay? So yes, sometimes stingy is the same as cheap, but cheap has more meanings. Okay, next question. Let's see. That's right. Recreation can be fun, but the core idea is that it refreshes you. Right. Okay. Can I sing Hot for Teacher? No, I can't. Is the patio and camping two different words? Yeah, patio is very different, Miguel. The word patio, if I remember right, has an interesting meaning, original meaning. So the word patio originally comes from Spanish. And the original meaning is just a courtyard that's open to the sky. Okay? So, the house I have now, we don't really have a patio. But the house I grew up in, we had a patio. We had a back patio. And what was it? It was just a flat area where we had some tables and chairs outside where we could sit and have barbecue, and that was the patio. Okay? So, camping, Miguel, camping is going out into the woods or into the wilderness with a tent or something to stay out there and enjoy nature. That's camping. A patio is just an area in the front or back of your house that's an open sky, that maybe you have a garden or you have an area for relaxing and lounging, or a table for eating, things like that. That's a patio. Okay? What's the etymology of the word amuse? Well, I was just looking at that. It comes from the word muse. So it comes from the French word amuser, which means to fool or tease or hoax or trick someone. But the real meaning of amuse means to cause someone to muse. So what does the word muse mean? M-U-S-E. What does muse mean, everybody? To muse about something means to think about something. Right? So when you amuse someone, you take away their attention from something and make them think about something else for a minute. Okay? But it's like you're tricking them, right? It's an amusement. That's why they're usually things like games or rides. They're amusements. They're things that I shouldn't be riding this right now. I should be working, but I'm going to amuse myself with this ride. Okay? So yeah, the word muse. The word muse originally means to think about it. But it's really funny because actually the word muse means to put your nose in the air. Why is that meaning? Why does it mean to put your nose in the air? What do you do when you think? What do you do when you think? You do this, right? I put my nose in the air. So the word muse actually means to put your nose in the air. Why? Because you're thinking about something. That's to muse about something. Amusements are things that distract you and make you think about something else. Okay? Okay, let's see. Is this my common speech? Mohana, yes, this is my normal teaching speaking. But when I'm in real life, no, I don't often talk like this. I talk like this anytime I want someone to listen to me. So I slow down about 10% more when I'm here. I use a little bit more simple language when I'm here. I exaggerate all of my pronunciations when I'm here. I don't do that when I'm in the real world, but when I'm here teaching, I do. Okay, let's see. All right, guys, it is 12 o'clock, and I have a headache. I now have a headache. So I want to go eat something and rest and probably take a nap because I did not sleep well last night. So I am going to go, but before I go, I want to give you my, here is my YouTube. Every Hello Talk video I do is also on YouTube at the same time. So if you have no time on Hello Talk, you can go to my YouTube and watch it, and there's no time limit on YouTube. All right? And on YouTube, you will find hundreds of other videos to watch with many other answers to listen to. All right? And here is my website. I have a website also. That's my website. Okay, if you go to my website, you can subscribe to my website. If you go to my website, you can buy lessons from me. If you want to buy private lessons, you can. If you go to my website, you can find my blog. Go read my blog articles. They are good, I promise. If you go to my website, you can find many, many free resources for studying English. Okay? Everything you need to practice your reading is on my website. Writing, listening, speaking, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, everything you need is on my website. Jack, 如果你用好特别的魔法，你可以 OK， 你知道我说什么 OK 那个 VPN Okay, and then next one is this one. This is my blog. Okay? Okay, if you go to my blog, like I said, those are some of my best answers. If you want my best answers, read my blog. Okay? I have been on Hello Talk for 12 years. I have 83,000 followers. More than 1 million people have watched me. This is my job. I am a teacher. It is my job. I am here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sometimes I'm busy. Sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I'm sick and I need a break. But I'm usually here. Okay? Everyone will tell you I'm usually here. Okay? All right. That is it for me today. Thank you very much for watching and following. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you, everyone. I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay? Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening wherever you live in the world. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay? Erbahi, I can't wait. I'm tired. I want to go. I'm tired. I've been here. How long have I been here? Let me see. I have been here for 1 hour and 47 minutes. So I'm going to go. Okay? Next time, come earlier. Okay? Okay. Bye-bye. I'll see you.